So I guess we'll just go ahead and begin. Let everybody know that apparently from this point forward, mods in the chat, according to this Twitch poll, will now be called Powolis. That's I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it's a thing now. It's a thing. Congratulations, mods. You are now all officially Powolis. For better or for worse. With that said, I guess today we're going to have to talk about the Blue's Clues thing, right? Apparently, they did a thing on Blue's Clues, and it makes people really, really angry and upset, because people get upset about a lot of stuff. So we're going to have to go into why the anti-SJWs are angry about that. Or at least, you know, a very particular one. Before that, though, let's go ahead and go into the first recess of sanity that we can manage. We have fan art! So, from Maki Himiko, we have a Squirrel Suris based off of Seasake Jiri's, Jiri the Sea Serpent did a different Suris earlier, and this is based on that one. Then we also have one from Mathematical Cabbage, and this is a Mortified Catgirl Suris. This actually got used in thumbnails a while back, and I actually like it a lot, I'm not even gonna lie. And then, finally, we have from Moonstar, a Warrior Cat Suris. As always, thank you all for your fan art submissions, and I greatly, greatly appreciate them. If you want to make sure that your fan art gets into the show, the best way you can do so is dropping it into the fan art section on the Discord. Doing it any other way, sending it via email, sending it via Twitter, I try to get them into the show, but there's always a chance that I will fail if they are not in a section that I literally have to go one by one in. Whereas Discord lets me avoid pretty much all those problems. Alright, with all that said, thank you all for your submitting your fan art, and let's get right into apparently how Blue's Clues is grooming children, I guess? So, I have no idea who this person is, but this video was submitted to me. So let's go ahead and see what the argument is. YouTube.
Hello everybody, my name is Ray. Welcome to the Evangelical Dark Web. Today we'll be diving into a popular small children's show is getting into that grooming.
Wait, okay, so dude's name is Evangelical Dark Web. Already gonna have to cringe a little bit of the name. And apparently I can't say anything about cringe. I literally own my cringe. Never mind, your cringe is fine. But apparently we're talking about Blue's Clues grooming children. I also need to see if I can turn the dude up a little bit, because honestly, open volume mixer, he is very, very low. And I don't know if that's a me thing or if that's something else. We're just going to turn that down. Okay, well, I don't have a way to turn him up higher than he already is, so I guess we're just going to have to go into here. Filters will increase his gain a little bit. Let's see what happens when I do that.
And the show Blue's Clues and You, which is a spin-off or derivative of the original Blue's Clues.
Said it's Blue's Clues what?
Grooming. And the show Blue's Clues and You, which is a spin-off or derivative of the original Blue's Clues, is just grooming kids and promoting transgenderism and homosexuality.
Alright, so first of all, grooming kids. You're gonna have to actually show a lot of evidence that kids are being groomed. Secondly, promoting people being trans, you're literally just promoting people existing? Like, trans people just exist? Like, literally, the only things that trans people are gonna ask you for, my guy, are being allowed to exist and getting access to necessary medical care. Those are, like, the big things they're gonna ask you for, alright? So I don't think that just showing the fact that they exist to children is much of a problem. Secondly, promoting homosexuality. Again, homosexuality is something you cannot avoid. You go out into the real world, you're going to meet people who are gay. That's just how it is. So, let's go ahead and see if you have evidence for at least the claim of grooming. Everything else I don't have a problem with. The grooming, I would think, is very, very bad. Assuming we have some evidence for it.
On children, and that's basically the purpose of this. This is propaganda and some pedophilia. I would say that Nina West...
There's the pedophilia claim again. Let's see if it gets substantiated.
Who will be in this video is a pedophile for trying to groom children into his lifestyle.
Wait. That's different. You just changed the claim. There's a difference between grooming children, which is an act of pedophilia, and something else that you just mentioned, grooming children to engage in your lifestyle. Okay, so based on that loose fucking phrase, going to a card shop and playing games with adults is grooming those children to live the lifestyle of those adults. You know, playing the card game as an adult, or playing video games as an adult. That is a completely different claim. Trying to groom a child to have a particular lifestyle is literally something that every parent engages in on some level. If they want their child to be successful, they will usually engage in some form of that, trying to get them to operate a particular way in the real world. That's not the same thing as grooming. You just changed the claim.
So, just to put an age on it, Blue's Clues is a popular children's television show for, like, I don't know, like, under 5. And it's a show that I grew up watching when I was that age. So that's how old the show is. And now, like, you know, I have children that would be watching that show is basically, you know, how old that show is. So, without further ado, let's kind of get into this. Pedophile warning.
Pedophile warning. Okay, I'm gonna have to see some pedophiles then. This video's not getting monetized.
Hey, Blue, look at all these families. Hi, families. It's time for a pride parade.
Blue wants to get out of
Families
here.
marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. Families marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. This family has 2 mummies. They love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything problematic so far. Tadashi Akros, thank you very much for the follow. I'm gonna be honest, like, I find the music a little cringy, but it's also music that's aimed explicitly at children. It's not for my age group. The actual content of the music? So what? I'm also going to tilt my head here so you can see that it seems to be a drag queen that is singing it. But again, I don't see any problem with that.
This is on 1.25 speed, by the way.
Hurrah. Families marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. This family has 2 daddies, they love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Come on, friends!
So just to, you know, point out the fact that they're using animals instead of humans.
And it's Blue's Clues. There are anthropomorphic salt and pepper shakers in this show. I don't think using animals instead of humans is too much of a stretch. In shit tons of children's media, we use animals instead of people for a lot of things. Think Disney. Think Looney Tunes. Think Blue's Clues. We have anthropomorphized versions of inanimate objects and animals and anything under the sun to make characters out of. This does not necessarily mean anything.
Even though there's complete humans in this universe of Blue's Clues, like this pedophile here.
How is this person a pedophile? You have yet to substantiate that claim. You keep saying pedophile. But, again, where has this person shown that they're a pedophile?
And also, key Easter egg here is the fist in the microphone, which is like, I'm not saying that's a Black Lives Matter fist because it's not the same fist, but a raised fist is a communist symbol. It's a...
Oh boy, let's go ahead. First of all, let me go ahead and say that network television, large network media, is likely not going to try to throw communist propaganda at you, because at the end of the day, the last thing they want is communism. Let me go and throw out right now, the people who own the means of production, the people who literally have the money to put on these kind of shows, the last thing they want is a moneyless, classless, stateless society. That's not something they want. But let's just, you know, raised fist symbol. Boop, 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 boop. The raised fist or clenched fist is a long-standing image of mixed meaning, often a symbol of political solidarity. Wait, political solidarity? You mean solidarity amongst queer folk? In a pride parade? Could potentially, maybe, possibly, be a meaning for this fist? Wow. But it's gotta be communism. It has to be. Despite the fact that contextually it's definitely not. Jesus fucking Christ.
Popular communist symbol, and you see it throughout the entire globe. Is a raised fist is a communist symbol.
Again, it literally just stands for solidarity. It can be solidarity among sexualities. It can be class solidarity. It can be solidarity amongst racial groups. Also, Camfrey, thank you very much for the follow. It's literally just solidarity. And its meaning changes based on the context. And in here, the context is a pride parade. You fucking idiot.
That's why Black Lives Matter has a raised fist.
Because racial solidarity is important to Black Lives Matter. Duh.
As its logo. You especially see this in South America.
Families marching 3 by 3, hurrah, hurrah. Families marching 3 by 3,
Or
hurrah,
dolphins.
hurrah. These babas are non-binary, they love each other so proudly, and they all...
Okay, just to point out, non-binary is not a real thing. Like,
Yes, it is.
this is someone who wants attention for being in a victim group, but isn't willing to cut off their balls.
What? What? I'm sorry. Play that again?
Who wants a... Okay, just to point out, non-binary is not a real thing. Like, this is someone who wants attention for being in a victim group, but isn't willing to cut off their balls.
So, let me go ahead and say the experience of multiple non-binary people who I've met. The last thing they want is attention. They generally just want to exist. There are non-binary people who are AFAB, so I don't know how they're going to cut their balls off, unless you're suggesting that they scoop out their ovaries for you? That's kind of weird. Bardock Moose just used 50 bits. Your god isn't real. Yeah, if we want to talk about things that aren't real, we could get into your deity. But you haven't made any claims about that, so I'm not going to attack him. Not here. I'm just going to talk about the ideas expressed in the video. So, gender is not the same as sex. Gender is someone's personal identity. Non-binary just means that you don't fall into a more masc or a more femme category, because gender has a bit of a bimodal distribution. This is something that we understand in science. It's something that is supported by literally all the sociological data that we have been able to produce on the subject. Now, whenever you say a claim like, they just won't get their balls chopped off, my assumption is that the only non-binary people you've met maybe a couple of people on Twitter, maybe? Your exposure to them is likely not that high, right? Probably not met a whole bunch of them. At the very least, you've never been introduced to literally any of the science where gender's concerned. I'm not going to sit here and go into all of it, because I'm still waiting for that pedophile claim, and I think that that's far more interesting than me merely explaining that a subcategory of human beings exist. But, either way, I just wanted to go and throw that out there. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Nekomison, thank you very much for redeeming your... Oh, well. Oh, well.
That's what non-binary means. It's not a real thing.
Yeah, except it is a real thing. Like, Like, here, how about... Just do the same thing here. Non-binary gender. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Non-binary gender. Let's just go right here. It's an umbrella term for gender identities that are neither male nor female, identities that are outside of the gender binary. Non-binary identities fall under the transgender umbrella, since non-binary people typically identify with a gender that is different than the assigned sex at first, though some non-binary individuals do not consider themselves trans. Another term for non-binary is NB, from the abbreviation NB. Not a real thing, huh? Let's just scroll that article by. Y'all can read it if you want. It's up to you. Not a thing, huh? It's a whole lot of information to be written for a thing that's not real. Now I know you can make that same claim about your god. I know you can. All fandoms have this problem. Also, I'm Yugi Moto. Thank you for following.
Like, it's just someone who wants attention that badly. And typically you see more women that are non-binary because, you know, again, they don't want to cut up their face up.
Why would they need to cut their face up? Secondly, you said that a non-binary person was someone who wouldn't cut off their balls. Now you're saying that a non-binary person is typically a woman. Which is it? Either non-binary people mostly need to cut off their balls, which would mean that they are AMAB, assigned male at birth, which is what you're referring to, or they're mostly women, so AFAB people who wouldn't have balls to begin with in this particular case, most of the time. So, which is it?
Or grow a mustache, so there's a bit of a vanity to it, but there's also...
Everybody's vain about their appearance. This is nothing new. Also, there are some people who are NB that don't want to grow facial hair because they find a lot of help in being androgynous. There are plenty of non-binary people, specifically, who enjoy the aesthetics of being androgynous. So, having facial hair specifically, whether you're AMAB or AFAB, probably isn't going to be what you're going to go for in a lot of cases, if you are going specifically for an androgynous look.
Also that extra vanity that says, I want attention for being part of a victim group.
Well, you're literally a YouTuber. You're here for attention, dude. We all are. Stone, glass house, all the 9 yards.
Go marching in the big parade. Families marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. Families marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. Trans members of this family all love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Come to
So he just paused, but I want to show you guys something neat here, okay? So it's hard to see because of where my model is in relation to this, and you guys might not be able to see it because of how small it is, but none of these beavers have pecs, not a single one of them, but this beaver here has 2 little like undercuts here. This looks like an AFAB beaver that had top surgery. That's actually kind of neat attention to detail. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it looks like one of them has top surgery. Neat. But, you know, let's go ahead and hear him bitch about it.
4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. Trans members of this family all love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Come to...
So again, pedophilia, and, you know, if you transgender your child, I've said this before and I'll say it again, you should be registered as a sex offender.
Wait, hold on. If you transgender your child, do you know how trans surgery works? Please demonstrate how much you don't know about it, because for most people, here's what happens. You mention that your gender probably doesn't conform with your assigned sex at birth. You may give this information if you are comfortable with it at age 10, 12, maybe, the time that you would normally be having puberty. So then you get assigned puberty blockers, generally. Puberty blockers generally work about 5-ish years, which is enough time to get you into adulthood, where you can legally make a choice about this. You get to 17 or 18 on puberty blockers. The puberty blockers generally only have, well, not really that many side effects. There is a single study that suggests they can affect bone density negatively in the same way that practically any type of late-stage puberty can negatively affect bone density. As a result, when somebody is on these blockers, they end up getting to about 17 or 18, and it's no different than them just having late-stage puberty. If they still do not feel comfortable in their body, if they still have not experienced gender euphoria or have experienced dysphoria or any number of factors, then other options might start to be considered. Options like full-on HRT or surgery. At this point, the puberty blockers have basically bought this person time. That's been the whole point that they're there. Transitioning a child through medical surgery generally doesn't happen in most cases, except one, which is kind of gross. Also, thank you, Ghost Familiar, for the follow. There is a case where it happens early, but this is a case that happens without the consent of the child, and it usually has fairly awkward results going forward, and this is in the case of intersex people. There are a handful of intersex people who experience having both genitalia, and a doctor will try to recommend which genital to cut off early on in the child's development, so it develops with only one set of genitals. This doesn't happen that often, but it can happen, and this is one of the few instances of early transitioning that I can think of. But again, this doesn't happen with the child's consent, and this generally happens with parents who aren't even well informed on the subject of intersex people to begin with. So, there. That's just a bunch of information on that. There's our information dump for the video. Let's continue. He still hasn't substantiated the pedophile claim.
You are unsafe to supervise children. You are a danger to children if you would transgender your own child. You should.
Again, transgender does not just mean surgery. There's HRT that can be involved, or somebody can be trans and just go purely performative. They might not necessarily need any type of surgery or need any type of medication in order to experience gender euphoria. It's not transitioning or being trans does not always involve medicine. And even when it does, we actually have fairly rigid categories of appropriate medicine for different age brackets.
You should be locked up for doing such a thing. That is an evil act. And like I said, what is this lyric that I just paused it on? Come join the fun.
Yeah, come join the fun of a fucking parade, my dude. They're literally just saying, join the pride parade. That's all. That's all. You're making a mountain out of a molehill, and it's hilarious and also sad. Please, go touch grass.
This is fun, is the advertisement, that being a tranny is fun.
No, the advertisement is being in a pride parade is fun. Being in a pride parade is fun. Being in a parade, showing solidarity with people who are trans or people who are gay or any other thing under that umbrella, that's what's being argued. It's not even a fully constructed argument, but if I were to break it down into an argument, then the argument is not come be trans. The argument is come be under this umbrella of people, or be an ally to this umbrella of people. That's the thing that they're saying is fun. I'm going to be honest. If you talk to most trans people, they will probably not tell you that it's a fun experience. They will largely be relaying experiences of being misgendered, experiences of being harassed, stalked, all kinds of terrible things happening to them, and experiences of trauma related specifically to their gender. All kinds of shit. It's not generally considered a fun thing. It's just a thing you exist as.
According to Blue's Clues and You. Being gay is fun according to Blue's Clues and You. Being a lesbian is fun according to Blue's Clues and You.
No, joining the Pride Parade is fun, but if I were to just take the being gay and lesbian part, just those ones, because those particular things have less social stigma right now, they could probably be considered more or less fun. It depends on how much you enjoy being reamed in the butthole.
Being non-binary is fun, and you don't even have to do any work.
Well, yeah, it's... Well, hold on. No. I was about to agree, and then I remembered that I actually do have a couple friends who are non-binary, but because they are violently masculine or feminine generally, they actually have had to get medication in order to more androgynize themselves. So, no, I was about to say no, not being non-binary doesn't take any work, and then I realized, nope, wait, hold on. I actually know... Wait, does he have the same headphones I do? Motherfucker, if those are Red Dragon headphones, those might be the same headphones I have, and I'm gonna be real fucking upset. I don't know why that's the part that just distracted me.
Because that's what non-binary means. It's like, I'm in the group too.
No, it means people who don't associate with the gender that they were given at birth. But they don't necessarily associate with a more feminine or more masculine gender. That's it. That's all it means.
Yeah, and I'm not willing to cut off my balls or anything like that.
Well, because they don't want to. In a lot of cases, they don't need to.
So come join the fun. That is the message of this song. Is that this homosexuality and transgenderism are fun.
No, it's being in the parade is fun. You can keep saying it over and over again, but it doesn't make it true.
Come join.
In the fun! Families marching 5 by 5, hurrah, hurrah! Families marching 5 by 5, hurrah, hurrah! Some people choose their family, they love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big hooray! Families marching...
I like that message. I actually really like that message, I'm not gonna lie. There is an incredibly healthy message there in letting people know that you are not necessarily tied to the family you were born into. You can choose your family. And this has actually been socially accepted for thousands of years already. Marrying someone can be choosing another family. Just throwing that out there. But in general, right? A lot of times, if you find yourself oppressed by your family, if your family ends up hurting you or hating you or any number of things, there is pragmatic reason to choose a different family, to find another family that will actually accept you for who you are or will support you in your endeavors instead of being more chips on the stone, as it were, towards potentially even suicide. Being able to choose your own family is largely a happy thing. But I still haven't seen the pedophile part. Still waiting for that claim.
Okay, so I don't know what this 5 was.
Families marching.
People marrying into other families. You could literally take this a full-on traditional Christian route, and you still can choose new families via marriage. Like, I can take this from your perspective, and it still comes out perfectly fucking okay. Jesus Christ.
6 by 6, hurrah, hurrah! If Vi and Pan grown-ups you see can love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade.
Again, bisexuality is pretty self-explanatory, where it actually recognizes only 2 genders.
No, that's not what it means. Bisexuality means that you are attracted to generally 2 groups. There are bisexual people who are attracted to NB people and who are attracted to male people, but might not necessarily be attracted to fully feminine people. That's it. Being bisexual does not mean that you only accept 2 genders. No part of being bisexual argues that.
But pansexuality is a very misused term by the homosexual movement because they want to downplay what it actually would mean. Because
what? Oh, no. I have a feeling I know where this is going.
Pan means all. It's an all-encompassing term.
Yes.
So if you use, say the word Hispanic is a pan-ethnic term, so it encompasses all the ethnics that are considered Spanish-speaking.
It encompasses all the ethnics. Guys, it encompasses all the ethnics. Not the ethnicities, the ethnics. I hope my Latinx people in chat are happy being the ethnics.
In Latin and South America. So that's what pan means, is all. You're like pantheist. You believe in all gods.
What? That's not what that means. Pantheist does not mean all gods. Hold on. No. I'm fairly certain. Maybe I'm wrong on this one. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain pantheism does not actually put up a doctrine which identifies God with the universe. Worship that tolerates all... Okay, so it can mean that. I have never met a pantheist who takes the second meaning. I have only ever met pantheists who take the first, where they identify the universe as God. Where God is all. God is the universe. Okay, so he is correct on this one. I am just less familiar with this one, because usually, philosophically, pantheism's the doctrine that identifies God with the universe. But worship that admits or tolerates all gods? Wouldn't this mean that, like, multiple polytheists fall into that? I don't know. That feels really weird. Like, as far as philosophical usage is concerned, that seems super unwieldy.
Now, pansexual, in theory, the root meaning of that word is...
Okay, you're going to commit an etymological fallacy, right? This is going to be an etymological fallacy? Or a fallacy dictorum? Where, like, only the dictionary term can be correct? Okay? This is a very awkward fallacy to fall into. This is, if he's going to do what I think he's going to do, what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to take the roots of these words and say, you see, these words actually should mean this. Which it's a prescriptivist argument. It says that this word must mean X because its roots mean X and Y, ignoring the fact that language tends to evolve, and sometimes it evolves independently of the root words used.
It means all sexuality, so that would include pedophilia. That would...
What? There's the pedophile claim! He thinks that pansexual people must be pedophiles. We're gonna play it again.
Meaning of that word is it means all sexuality, so that would include pedophilia, that would include necrophilia, that would include bestiality.
According to this man, a pansexual person is necessarily a pedophile, a necrophiliac, and someone who fucks animals. Chat, don't out yourself if you're not comfortable, but if you're a pansexual in chat, please let me know if you identify with any of those three things. That would be super helpful. And in the comment section, too. Because, like, I have a hunch that that's a fucking lie.
And what haven't we incest, if that's a fetish? What...
If that's a fetish. I've seen enough anime to know it is.
Wouldn't pansexual include? And they try to, like, softball it, downplay what it actually means, to say it just means that they'll have sex with any human. Or that means they don't...
No, it means that they have sexual attraction with any human. Doesn't mean you would literally fuck every human. I'm sure there's some pansexual people in the chat who are looking at you right now and going, yeah, no, not that one. Not anymore. John Childress says that's the same claim that Michael Knowles made. Send me the link where he made that claim. I'd like to rip into his butthole, too. Specifically his butthole, because homophobes hate it when you go for the butthole.
Discriminate against transvestites, like that pedophile in this video here.
Okay, a transvestite. I'm gonna be honest, I very rarely hear that term anymore. What you're probably looking for here is a drag queen. That is a drag queen. Likely, at least aesthetically, it looks like a drag queen. Okay? That might be the best word to use. Then again, you're saying that this person's a pedophile over and over again. First of all, this is a cartoon character. Whether or not they have the capacity to fuck a child, that's probably up for debate. But let's go ahead and pretend that in-universe, this character has a sexuality that can be mapped in some way, shape, or form. At no point have they given any indication that they like children. Like, literally. Never. Not once.
but you know, the root meaning of pansexual means all sexuals.
Raid, oh yeah! Families marching 7 by 7, hurrah, hurrah! Families marching 7 by 7, hurrah, hurrah! All families are made differently, they love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade.
Okay,
families marching
fine.
8 by 8, hurrah, hurrah! Families marching 8 by 8, hurrah, hurrah! This house is a family of kings and queens, they love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big
They're really
parade.
stretching to get this up to 10.
Families marching 9 by 9, hurrah, hurrah! Families marching
Hey,
9 by 9,
unicorn.
hurrah, hurrah! Allies to the queer community can love their queer friends so proudly, and they all go marching
Okay, if you want to do,
the big
if you want to do even less work than the non-binary person, you can be an ally. And
If you want to do less work than being a black person, you can be an ally to people of color. Does that argument sound fucking stupid when I say it like that? Because it's the same goddamn argument, and it's just as stupid when you say it.
march in the parade. Because again, the message of the song is, this is fun. You should join.
Yeah, join the parade. Be an ally. It's literally the 9th person in the parade, dingus.
Join the fun of being a homosexual or a transvestite.
Wait, but hold on. I'm gonna ignore the fact that you keep saying transvestite, but hold on a second. I got a question. Didn't you say that, like, your argument is basically framed around the things that are available in this parade? One of the things in this parade that is available is just being an ally. Literally, even when I take your argument at full face value, it does not necessarily mean you should be a homosexual or you should be trans. Because being an ally is an option within the parade. Now, again, I think your argument's fucking stupid, so I'm not gonna take it at face value. And I'll just point out that the argument, insofar as there is one presented in the actual video, is that you can be someone in the parade. You can just join the parade and be an ally. That's it.
That is the message of this song. It is grooming children to become homosexuals and transvestites.
How is it grooming children? I'm gonna let you know right now, any child who is going to become a homosexual later in life is gonna do it independently of any YouTube video. Because these are not things that we can actually change.
And it's a social contagion.
families marching 10.
It's a social people being Okay, you know what, dude? I so wish that this dude has, like, a full-time job, and I hope he has to repress every single thing he's saying here at that job. I sincerely hope that he is terrified of every single person around him literally making him lose his livelihood for him saying any of that bigoted shit. I hope so. I hope this man lives in fear.
10 by 10, hurrah, hurrah. Families marching 10 by 10, hurrah, hurrah.
Ow.
Love is love, you see, and everyone should love
Meaningless
proudly, and we'll all go.
He says it's a meaningless statement. Love is not a meaningless statement. Evidence to the contrary of it being a meaningless statement is the fact that you're here arguing against it.
Marching in the big parade. Wow! Thanks, Blue. Happy Pride Month.
You can ask your parents to
Oh, yeah.
subscribe to Nick Jr.'s Blues Clues and You YouTube channel for
Man, they're going to show you that video and ask children to subscribe. So again,
Yeah, because it's a YouTube video, and they specifically said ask your parents, which means that a child would ideally show their parent that video, and then the parent could make an informed decision over whether or not they wanted to have their child subscribe. Is misrepresenting everything you see in a video, like, all you do? Is that like the shtick of your channel?
and what is the message of Blues Clues and You here? That being homosexual and transvestite is fun. Come join the parade.
No. Because you can be an ally and join the parade. They literally had allyship as one of the things in the parade, one of the things that were fine to do. You can be an ally and join a parade. You don't have to be gay. You don't have to be trans. You don't have to be any of those things to join a pride parade. Holy fucking shit. I know the conservatives tend to call people like me snowflakes all the time, but Jesus Christ. This dude is unironically triggered by this.
That is the message. They are grooming children to become sexually, sexual.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Try. Find a way that people having consenting sex as adults is bad. Stretch. Be a cat here. Do a big stretch.
Deviants.
That's all you had? Deviant behavior? Deviant behavior. Right. Okay. That's as good as you could get. What a fucking weak ass.
And, another thing about homosexuality is it is inseparable from pederasty.
How? How is being a homosexual inseparable from that? Please explain. Now, I know that there is an argument from Leviticus in the Bible that the message in Leviticus that argued that you should stone a homosexual for taking a woman's bed. One of the things that it could mean is that it's for pederasty, because a Greek translation of those words that were used comes out to male and man, a male sleeping with a man, and a male meant a young man, like potentially a child, whereas a male or a man meant an adult. And this is because we know that the King James Bible that was written in 1611 was based off of an earlier 15th century Greek document. No, 16th century Greek document. And that's where those translations would have been found. We know that. Like, this is old news. So I know that that's a thing, but I don't know if that's where he's going to be going. I don't expect any level of fucking scholarship coming from this nonsense.
You cannot separate homosexuality from pederasty. That's why you see with homosexuality, you see extreme age differences between the two different males.
What? You see that in straight couples, too. Have you ever heard of a cougar? What? You see that in literally all relationships. You can have vast age differences. If the people are actually adults in those relationships, and the power dynamics aren't significantly skewed, then who the fuck cares? Jesus Christ. Bardock says he knows a lot of pedo stuff, it seems. Jesus.
Why? Because, it's all about grooming young people. And you saw this with Tiger King, to use a pop culture example, where he was grooming 19-year-olds to be his butt buddy.
Okay. You had to go for, like, a super extreme example? I don't know that much about Tiger King, because I didn't fucking care, so I have no idea what the actual substance to this particular claim is. I don't know this one.
That's what Joe Exotic was doing. Why? Because it's inseparable. You can go back in ancient history where...
Oh, please! Give me some ancient history!
Where they had the Sodomites and they had the Catamites.
Sodomites and Catamites? Catamites? Wait, hold on. Hold on.
The word catamite means a child, typically like a child. Where a child that would be the receiver of anal sex. That's what a catamite is. So, again, they like this movement.
Hold on, I gotta check this one here. Sodomite and Catamite? In ancient Greece and Rome, a catamite was a pubescent boy who was the intimate companion of a young man, usually a pederastic relationship, which is the same as a pedophilic relationship. At least I'm assuming I am correct on that. Sexual relationship between an adult male and a pubescent adolescent boy. Yep, I'm correct on that. It is generally a term of affection that means Ganymede in Latin. Okay. Again, your argument is literally that a form of pedophilia existed in the past. And? I mean, it's bad then, and it's bad now, but how does that link the two together? here, let me just go ahead and throw this out this way, okay? If it follows that there are pedophilic straight relationships, and if it follows that the function and form of homosexual relationships are going to be near identical, except in mechanical function, to the same types of relationships you would expect to see in heterosexual relationships, then it would follow that pedophilic relationships can happen within homosexuality. That's it. There's the argument. His argument has literally just been, aha, homosexual pedophilia exists, therefore the two are inseparable. Except heterosexual pedophilia exists. Therefore the straights are inseparable from it too? Okay. All straight people want to diddle kids, I guess. If we accept what you're saying wholesale, we have to accept the converse.
Like to say, homosexuality's been around forever, and I don't dispute that. But homosexuality has been around forever, and it's been around inseparable from pederasty.
In the same way, I know he keeps on saying pederasty because that's a way to make him sound smart, but again, pederasty is specifically just prepubescent young boys, which means there are other forms of pedophilia that he's not factoring in, but pederasty is the one that he can sit here and go, aha, this is the one that makes me sound big-brained and smart. But again, homosexuality is inseparable from that, as heterosexuality is inseparable from that. Because again, if you accept that type of relationship can occur in one, that type of relationship can occur in the other. That's all. That doesn't get us anywhere. You've not made an argument that these things are inseparable in any substantial way, because this argument works for heterosexuality as well. And before he jumps in the comment section of my video going, "You're just gay and want to fuck butts!" Dude, I am cis, I am hetero. I am literally the exact thing that you would prefer the entire world to be. And I'm just pointing out all the reasons you're wrong. But I don't think we're going to get any more out of the last minute of your video besides absolute dumb shittery. I'm not going to make any claims that you have any skeletons in your closet in particular. I'm just going to deal with the ideas. And the ideas on hand here are absolute horse shit. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below when you see this on YouTube, or let me know over in the chat on Twitch if you are watching this currently on Twitch as we are live. If you have not followed already, you should probably go ahead and do that. The Jelly Bean Boys has just followed, as has Jaylene19. Both of them have followed, and you should do the same. But thank you all for watching. As always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here.